long video, but I need to talk about this because the creator of this ROM hack commented on my video last night, and I said I'll make a video explaining myself on this game a lot better, because I seem to explain things a lot better on video than I do, in my gaming streams when I make my experience and all that stuff. But anyway, so this is my experience with Super Luigi RPG Star Powered version 7, but I will be talking about like version 3 and what I liked from version 3 more sometimes, here and there and stuff. Anyways, so let's get on with the show. Let's talk about what the heck. So what is Super Luigi RPG? Okay, Super Luigi RPG is Super Mario RPG, but it's a ROM hack created by Will319, alright? Just want to get that all out there before I share the stream. Let me do that. Okay, so before I explain some more stuff, I wanted to get this out of the way. So I want to talk about like my very first time playing the game Super Luigi RPG. What was my first exposure to it, right? So when I first played Super Mario RPG, I think after a while I really wanted a ROM hack of one of my favorite games of all time more than Super Mario Armageddon. So after Super Mario Armageddon didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, it was still really difficult even in normal mode and all that other sort of shit, I decided to try to find a new ROM hack, and the new ROM hack that I found was Super Luigi RPG. And obviously, I'm a massive Luigi fan, so I decided to, give it a try. I love Super Mario RPG. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time, if not my favorite. I've expressed that many times on this channel. So, anyways, I digress. I decided to give the latest version that was on, I think, romhacking.net or .com, a try. And I loved the experience because not only I got to do, the base game story, the story mode for the base game, but like I got to do so much more shit that I didn't think was possible when I played Super Luigi RPG. I got to fight freaking, like Dark Bowser. I'm gonna probably show y'all because I know there's also other people who played V3, but I remember, just doing like the first version of the game I ever did was, V3 obviously. So, fighting everybody, from the Smithy Gang out of order and new orders and all that other sort of stuff. Lil Dill, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, man. I did my own damn thing. And I kind of want to show you what the hell I done. So I kind of give you an idea. But I remember, like, doing all of this, like fighting Smithy, fighting, Smithy's gang, and different orders and different combinations, and it was a whole thing. It felt different to me, when playing Super Luigi RPG, especially when I got to fight fucking Kefka, from Final Fantasy VI. I thought that was one of the coolest things on the planet, and I thought it couldn't end like any other way, and I remember playing it, like playing against Kefka, as the final boss, and Bowser and Gino having regen shell and all those other cool moves, kind of OD moves, but really cool moves. And I remember enjoying Super Luigi RPG, the base experience that I've experienced, aka version 3. I enjoyed it to no end. I loved it. I think I loved it more than the original game, if not maybe slightly less, because it is a ROM hack version, and usually a lot of people, when they think of a ROM hack version of a game, they don't really think of it sometimes as better. Maybe some people think it's better, some people just think it's just a side thing. Me personally, I thought it was one of the greatest ROM hacks I've ever played. So to find out that V3 wasn't the latest version, because I did do a Super Luigi Star Powered playthrough in V3. Here, let me go over to the freaking playlist and yeah, I did 9 videos on the thing because I started the series on my page over a year ago, but I didn't do the V3 version. I did the, I think like V6, V5 or something. I can't remember, but God, I just remember after V3, I was like, I want more of this, but at the same time, I think I just kind of stopped playing in a way. Like, I just didn't really bother playing Super Luigi RPG again, or I didn't bother trying to find a more different version. I kind of just let, uh, Super Luigi RPG play it out, play itself out, and all that other sort of stuff. But I remember after a long while of that playthrough, I decided to whip it up again, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to show YouTube because since I did, Super Mario RPG Armageddon on the channel, I wanted to show off Super Luigi RPG on the channel. So about a year ago, in my playthroughs, I decided to play the base game all over again on stream, on camera, and like the first few videos here in my playlist, like a year old and stuff, of us doing the base story of the game here. Check that out real quick. Yep, I have a playlist. Not a lot of views on the playlist, but I got a lot of videos here. See? Check that out. Boom, back, big. Got a lot. And then, after these 4 videos, I remember, I think it was Rene YT that kind of encouraged me to come back. He was like, yo, Alan, why don't you play Super Luigi RPG again, because I would really like to see you play the game, again on YouTube, And I was like, nah, man, the ROM was always broken, I don't know why it was broken, but it broke on me, and, in some of these episodes, I think it broke on me, so, like, I couldn't really continue playing the game, so I kind of deleted it for a long time after that, and didn't want to play it again, but after a long while, I got the latest version of the game. And I remember, I think it was like around 1 month ago, I decided to come back to the game because I remembered from part 4, I remember where I left off. And I decided to get Super Luigi Star Power version 7, grind the game out to that point where I was, Belom's Temple, and I grinded out all this shit. And just to find out that, there's so much new shit. No wonder the game crashed because I was on the wrong version, or maybe versions were clashing with each other and shit. And ever since then, I kind of got back into Super Luigi Star Powered, and I kind of wanted to continue / finish my Super Luigi RPG sub or mini series I had going on YouTube, right? So after continuing this, waiting for the Eternals review. Yeah, about that. There's a whole issue we had with Disney Plus last night where we couldn't get in, so Nick and I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so probably not going to watch that movie for a little while. I'll explain it better in a vlog some other time what happened to Disney Plus and all that other sort of shit. But anyways, I digress. So I decided to continue. I fought this bone dude, or I don't know what the fuck, but I fought a bone dude, and I was so, like, happy with Super Luigi Star Powered by this point, because it was, like, so much shit that I never seen before, or never fought before were in the game, and I loved it. I loved it, and I dreaded it all at the same time, fighting Smithy and his gang, all that other sort of shit, that was fun, that was awesome. But we need to start talking about some bad things. In my opinion, I feel like, here, excuse me for the ads. I don't know about traptors, but, oh, there's no traptors in this. I want to talk about this because I feel like I need to, in a way. I need to sort of pseudo talk about this. So, one of the things I felt like was kind of bad about this game, in my honest opinion, was probably Smithy. Because Smithy took, in this version of the game, the 7.0 version, Smithy is way stronger than, I don't know if he's stronger than Armageddon version, or maybe he's the same level as Armageddon. But if you remember when I was struggling on this, if you were in this stream that day, finishing Bowser's Keep, a lot of rage in between because I changed the title a little bit in the thumbnail, you would know that Smithy in this stream took me about like 3 hours to beat, or 2 to 3 hours to beat. Just all of his phases included, like just 2 to 3 hours of that. And just sitting there struggling, even though just using what little items I had left in the fight, is ludicrous. The amount of resets, the amount of restarts, and I was max level. I had the best gear, I think the best gear I could have gotten for myself at the time. And just Smithy being this annoying was fucking ridiculous in my opinion. And I won't lie, I don't think I remember after the fight with Smithy, I never wanted to do it again. I remember seeing this Smithy, finally beating him after so long. I never, ever wanted to fight this Smithy again because of how long, how tedious, how ridiculous I needed to use mighty guards and plan strategies. It just sucked all around fighting Smithy. Like, I remember after fighting Smithy, I did not want to do him anymore, and I was afraid.
Mysterious house down right here.
Right? I was afraid to do literally anything relating to anything related to anything related to Smithy ever again. So let's get to the post-game content so we can talk about the post-game content. So the post-game content in Super Luigi RPG, in my opinion, is some of the best post-game content I have played. And I want to say that until a certain point anyway. Like fighting the Elder Yoshi, that was really cool. The anti-guy, the rematch with Johnny, Johnny, Jagger and Jinx, the Frost Temple / Secret Cave where you're fighting fucking... let me see. Where you're fighting, Barbica, the fucking FF4 wind chick, fighting her was so cool. Seeing her again, even though I hate FF4 personally, just seeing her again, or, Smagor the flame dude, or Chasno the water dude, or, Magnus. I don't know why I fought Magnus in the wrong order, but that happened. The Magnus fight was cool. Trying to get into Casino. The Chaos Star was awesome. The 3 Tomberries was hell. Bontor boss, the little dinosaur boss was annoying. But easily one of the worst fights in the game was this moment. Fighting Terra in FF fucking 6. I loved and I really hated this fight because, keep this in mind, this fight was long. This was easily the longest part of my 8th part video. Or I think it was part 8, yeah. Was it part 8? I don't even fucking remember anymore. Yeah, it was part 8. Oh, you know what's funny? I did 2 part 8, so this would have been part 9, actually, of my Super Luigi star-powered stuff. That's crazy. But I meant to say part 9, that's what I meant to say. He commented on my part 9 video. I'm going to have to change the title and thumbnail to that after the stream. But anyways, so Terra was annoying. I thought Terra was really annoying, but she was really cool, and I kind of was determined to fight her to see where it ends, and that was really cool. So we move on to after Terra and all that other sort of stuff. This is one of the coolest bits of the game, in my opinion, like going to the Mushroom Kingdom back door, and I feel like, fighting like Atomic Boo, I felt like was cool. But I felt like what version 3 did, where you fight Dark Bowser, was actually better, in my opinion. The Dark Dry Bones, that shit was kind of eh. Well, I mean, that was cool. I thought all this was cool, but at the same time, looking back at it, I wish Dark Bowser was somewhere in between. Like, don't get me wrong, you can keep Atomic Boo, Dry Bones and shit, but like, I wish Dark Bowser was like before the Shadow Queen. And this was like my real problem with the game. Right? I can't believe I made a mistake and said 2 part 8s. I kind of wish I didn't do that. But anyways, so after so long of struggling and all this other sort of stuff, right? Finally getting done with all the bosses in the game, I predicted it and said, guys, if I have to deal with a boss Rush Gauntlet this is shitty because I hate boss gauntlets. I hate gauntlets that are like boss gauntlets that go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And keep this in mind. This is someone who just started playing like this, like V7, you know, not super long ago. And on top of that, every time I did gauntlets, like boss gauntlets in prior games, FF4, I fucking despised my time because I'm doing refights, and the reason I despise it here is because I'm refighting the same bosses I literally just did off camera. Or not off camera, on camera. Literally, you guys witnessed me fight Anti-Guy and everybody in between. And I've shown you in video form these boss fights. And I remember, and this is something interesting that happened last night, but I'm going to go into it when I talk about it. I remember I said this in the video in the gauntlet. I said the gauntlet is poo in the title, but I also mentioned, like, I don't like gauntlets. I think it is fucking boring that I'm fighting the same motherfuckers over and over and over again, right? And I literally just did that. And this is what I expected whenever we got to the final bit. I thought we were going to fight one big-ass boss that's tougher than everything else. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I thought we were going to fight one more dude. After everything we did, after all the post-game bosses, I thought we were going to fight one more thing. It could have been fucking Coolish based off Coolish 3D. And, by the way, I will show you footage of the gauntlet in a little bit here, because I did find footage of the Super Luigi RPG gauntlet, and there is newer stuff, but I'm going to explain to you guys why I feel like the base gauntlet is something that I don't really like as an RPG player. You know, if you're going to have secret bosses, you know, just have them, and just after I'm done fighting them, poof, they're done, they're dead, that's it. You know what I mean? You got your secret boss fight. In my opinion, that's how it should work. I fight the motherfucker once, that's it, or something. And, you know, most secret boss fights in this game were a one and done. But as well as, you know, all the other bosses, Super Luigi RPG, were also a one and done. You don't fight them again until this fucking gauntlet, where I have to fight most of the secret bosses I fought already all over again. And one of them was Smithy. And I remember, as soon as I saw Smithy in the boss gauntlet, I fucking quit. I told Ronnie, I said, dude, I don't think I can. I said on stream, I said, I don't think, I'm going to come back to this and see how I feel about it later. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do this boss gauntlet right now. I don't know if I could do it, because that just kind of sapped what energy I had for the game I had left. Like, that will to kind of keep going on your ROM hack. And then last night happened, right? Really last night, after this video went up 4 days ago, Will319 actually commented on my Part 9 video of Super Luigi RPG. And this is also during the time when me and Nick were trying to figure out Disney Plus. And, you know, Disney Plus was going to shit for some reason. We couldn't figure out something, or, you know, we couldn't watch, like, the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. And I went to my tablet to try to, you know, see what I could do with that scenario. And I just see Will comment both these things. And I wanted to actually beeline it to those comments, but a part of me was like, and I'm going to show you the comments, but a part of me wanted to beeline to those comments, but I didn't get to reply until a while later, because, you know, I was dealing with what me and Nick were doing that night. And anyways, let me show you the comments. So, Ronnie, I want to apologize to you, because it's on my Part 9 video of Super Luigi RPG, not Part 8, and I accidentally made, or I said on the thumbnail, the other one is Part 8, even though I already have a Part 8 in my playlist. So technically this would be Part 9. I apologize. Anyways, so this was Will's perspective on this. He said, personally, I think you're expecting far too much from a ROM hack of a SNES game. I usually accept and appreciate appropriate criticism, but this felt extremely harsh, loud, and needlessly rude. Boss rematches are to accommodate for a lack of graphical space. There was a unique content in the boss rushes, and even new fights within it. And after it, many games do things like this. My biggest example being Kirby games, which have entirely new final boss at the end, which this was inspired by. Unfortunately, if you'd like, I have access to a skip fights by pressing the select button on the controller. However, I do not know if it will work on mobile emulators such as Mobile RetroArch, right? So he commented this, and then he commented this on top of that. My primary point in this, is that to be bothered by something as mundane as a common as a boss rush, especially on a SNES game, leads me to believe you may be unaware of how things like that work. A SNES ROM hack has none of the blessings modern game design has. You cannot just simply add more space to the game as you wish. You need to replace, reuse as much as you can and optimize the space you have so nothing breaks. Treating it as if it has, or hold on. Yeah, treating it if it has to have something more than that, and that nothing can or should be reused, is nothing but discouraging to hack and or game creators, as it is all entirely unreasonable expectations. Now, when he told me this, I said this underneath it. I said, I'll make a video explaining myself better tomorrow. I got you. All right, because keep this in mind. When I created that part 9 episode of Super Luigi RPG, right, I was exhausted after doing everything I did in that video and finding out that there was a gauntlet, a base gauntlet, and then two gauntlets. There was 2 Super Mario RPG or Super Luigi RPG gauntlets. There's the base one, and there's a super boss rush where it's even harder with even more secret boss included, right? And after Will said this, I decided to do my research and to see if there was something worth a damn in the well, not worth a damn, because this entire game is worth a damn. Let's be real, right? Here, let me find it. Just search that up really quick. Let me just try to find like a more current version. Yeah, 4 months ago. Okay. So after this, the ultimate boss rush. I looked up the ultimate boss rush because you get to fight Waka from Paper Mario. You get to fight a lot of other characters, okay? So when I found out that there's more than just one boss rush, this is the boss rush I'm on, the Star Haven boss rush. I saw this one, and basically you have to fight everyone I said all over again. Now keep this in mind, right? I still don't like the fact that there are boss rushes, and I completely get it, where you have to reuse content over and over and over again, and make sure you have make sure you do what you can within the space that you are given, and make sure nothing breaks. Right? I get that. But for someone such as me that has to do 2 boss rushes to see something unique go on, and after doing all of this just originally for the first time at the said level when I was really interested, I feel like that's what kind of killed it, because I'm like, I get it, you have to do this, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. It's kind of not really encouraging doing all of these secret bosses, over and over and over and over again. Not over again, but just over again one time, and just me wondering to myself, like, is this even worth the damn? I mean, look at this. The ultimate fucking rush starts at, like, Yoshi and Wolf Jinx and the fucking Yoshi thing. Here, go ahead. But anyway, so this is new because both of them don't fight with each other, so that's a new fight. But it's like, for me, it's like I have to do 2 gauntlets with even more crazy shit, right? And it's like, why couldn't I have just done at least one of these gauntlets? I don't know. Because a part of me does get bothered by refights over and over again. Because I don't like refighting things that I thought were tough. I don't see the satisfaction of doing that. And yes, you might be wondering, well, Alan, then why the fuck did you refight, in Super Mario RPG, remake when you fought, all the refights, because that was a one-time thing. I did those fights one time, called it off, and Coolish 3D was right there, all right? And that's what I was working towards, the real secret boss, Coolish 3D, him returning. And it's, again, like I said, I know this sounds scramble-brained as fuck, but it's like, this is just how I feel. I just don't like boss gauntlets. I haven't liked boss gauntlets ever since I played fucking Mega Man, and having to redo the same bosses over and over again for a second time for what feels like no reason other than just you have to do this to unlock the next gauntlet of bosses. And it's like, for me, it's like, I don't know how to feel about that, fighting the FF4 elemental cast members again, fighting Magnus with this new magic bitch on the side, which I'm going to show you guys right here in a little screenshot. You see Magnus right there and then magic bitch right there. Then after that, you go up against the Chaos Star all over again, which he's probably tougher than last time you fought him. Then you fight Terra again. I'm sitting there like, I have to fight Terra all over again? Fuck that. No way. But I think after Terra is where the real new shit starts. For example, you fight the final boss from FF4, which I thought was cool, but a part of me is like, I have to fight this thing and its final form. I think from FF4, because keep in mind, I have a really rough history with FF4. To this day, I have a rough history with the game, so fighting more FF4 bosses is just kind of like his base, and then you see his final form right here, and it's like, what the fuck? This is cool. I remember I said this was really cool, but I don't know if it's worth going through Smithy all over again just to fight something even worse than that. And then Coolish comes back, which I thought was really cool. And this Coolish right here is based off of his Super Mario RPG remake. Second 3D Coolish. Yeah, this is second Coolish 3D. By the way, I'm using Fayflow23's footage of this because he did this. And I remember seeing Coolish again. I was like, yo, Coolish is back with new crystals, with new abilities. That's fucking cool, because we didn't see him in this ROM hack for the entirety of the time. And also, he has different forms and transformations within the fight, too, which, obviously are recolors, because you can't really do too much with the space you are given, like Will explained to me. I thought that was cool, but it's like, come on, man, I would rather just have a boss gauntlet of all of those new guys, like the FF boss, Waka, and maybe a few more, like an extra little thing. And I would have, this is something I'm going to say. I would have rather had all these guys after beating the after beating the game, after beating every secret boss, we go to Starhaven to unlock each of these fights in different areas of the map. For example, go back to the fucking door in Monstro Town to fight Coolish 3D like the original game. Fuck the Magnus fight. After you beat Magnus and shit in there, or whatever, you get to go to the Coolish fight. You get to go to, the FF4 final boss thing. In my opinion, I felt like that would have been better than putting them all in a gauntlet. After, the Terra fight. I have to refight everybody all the way up to Terra just to get to even more new bosses. This is where I decided to drop the game because of that in question. And I don't know, to me, I felt like that's way too much to do for a fucking secret boss, in my honest to God opinion. And that's why I'm making this video now, to kind of clear up what, to kind of talk about my point towards Will 319. Now, again, Will 319, if you comment on this, let me know your thoughts, because I don't know. To me, I felt like it could have just been, and I get it, there's like a skip button, but I don't have a computer to, and this is another thing I wanted to say, because I forgot to mention this. I don't have a computer, I don't have a computer that allows me to help me skip fights and fights I don't want to do and all that other sort of stuff. I can't do that. I don't have a computer, so I only have like a mobile device. And I'm not going to lie, if I knew that, if I had a PC and I knew that you can skip fights, and if I figured that out, I probably would have skipped the refights with characters I've already beaten before. I'm not even going to hold. And then just to get to characters I have not beaten, I would have just done that, not bitched, and just probably walked the fuck off. But the fact that since I'm on mobile doing this, I have to do, again, like I said, in the second boss gauntlet, I have to do everything in the first boss gauntlet. That includes some of the secret boss fights, including all the way up to Smithy. Beat him as well on top of that to beat the first gauntlet. Then do a few other guys before you unlock the second gauntlet. And then go into the second gauntlet fighting Terra and everybody else up to Terra. And then you get new shit. It's like, come on, dude. In my opinion, I don't know why you needed 2 gauntlets. Like I said, I felt like it would have just been way better if you just fucking put them in a random spot in the map around the world, just like the remake of Super Mario RPG did. And this isn't me having higher expectations or my expectations are too fucking high, but it's like, I don't know, I just felt like it could have been like better. I felt like, you know, V3 with Kefka in some sort of way kind of gave me like a better ending. I don't know, like, and ever since I saw this post-game content be kind of hidden away, and since obviously not a lot of people played this, you know, or, well, a lot of people played it, but, you know, a lot of people played different versions of the game, so they have completely different experiences with Super Luigi RPG. Unlike me, where I played V3 all the way through, then I think V4, 5, maybe 6, and then randomly V7, you know, shows up, you know, and I play all the way through that one. So, for me, Super Luigi RPG is like, fucking thing I saw over there. But Super Luigi RPG, it is a phenomenal game, but like, I feel like with those gauntlets, it kind of ruins the experience for me because I just want to fight them one-on-one and then fucking dip and call it a day. Alright? That's my mentality on this. That's how I've always preferred my boss fights. I don't prefer them in gauntlets. I prefer them in just one-and-done fights. That motherfucker is the spectacular thing about it, right? About the whole encounter. I beat him, I call it a day, I leave. You know what I mean? And I know in my Super Luigi RPG playthrough series, I was doing bosses back to back to back to back to back, so why am I, you know, complaining about doing them back to back to back in gauntlets? I'm complaining because each and every single boss I encountered was brand new. Brand spanking new, you know, with new abilities, new items, just new everything. Like, for example, when I was playing Super Luigi RPG, I went from fighting, let's say, Smithy to Terra. Terra is brand new. I enjoyed, but also really hated the fight because of how long it is and how dragged out it was. But I loved it because of the fact that it was new for me. It was a new experience for me going into this. This is something I wanted. I wanted to fight FF characters. I wanted to fight more interesting things. And I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong idea, but, or my expectations are too high or something. Still, I guess my expectations are too high, but it feels like my expectations aren't that high at all. I felt like, you know, again, if those boss fights weren't even in a gauntlet, and you just had those few guys in a gauntlet or something, like those new fights in a gauntlet, like a single gauntlet, and I can choose or something or whatever, I feel like it would have been so much better. I feel like that's what you should have done with Starhaven. Starhaven's gauntlet is all the new bosses back to back to back to back, without the use of redos, without the reuse of refights of those same secret bosses I already fought once already. You know? And I wanted to get my point across because I didn't want to send like a freaking omega long paragraph to Will319 last night about how I felt and everything until like I've gathered my thoughts on the whole matter and whatever. And the question is, will I go back to Super Luigi RPG maybe after this video if Will either changes it or makes I'm not saying make a specific version for me or anything, but makes like a a version 8 or a version 9 or a version 10 in the future, because, you know, version 7, I don't know if that's going to be the final product, but if he does make other versions, or maybe even other Super Mario RPG ROM hacks, I am down to play them. I'm down to play. I love Super Mario RPG. I'm down to play it. Oh, and also, another thing that I love that Will did, he got rid of the entirety of the Bowser segment, like the 4 doors segment. You're a goat for that. I'm going to be so real. I hated that section in the original game and the remake, and the fact that you got rid of it, thank you. Thank you for getting rid of it and only giving us a small boss gauntlet. I really appreciate that, Will, because I hated the 4 doors, and I hated doing the little puzzles and the challenges and all that shit. It comes so left field in the original game, and the fact that you decided to remove that and only have us do like one little gauntlet before we continue onward saves so much time. It's so much faster. Thank you for that, Will. But again, like I said, I feel like my thoughts still stand on how I feel about the gauntlet. And I feel like, and I remember me and Ronnie talking about this a little more. I want to mention it because I forgot to. Basically, when me and Ronnie talked about the gauntlet, I said, you know what, I think I'm done. I'm satisfied with the game. I don't want to get burnout, because I think that's what was also happening, was not only I was getting burnout, but I was just getting tired of, you know, the reuse. And I get it, Will. You got to reuse some shit. Reuse, because so the game doesn't break, the ROM works for everybody, so everybody can sit there and play it. Whoever is interested in playing, you know, Super Luigi RPG, I get that. But at the same time, I felt like, you know, the secret bosses, when you did put them in different locations, that's what I wanted for the other guys when they showed up. Or in Star Haven, you get to fight one of them one at a time or whatever. Prep yourself with items or prep yourself with shit so you can get some shit or whatever and just continue going on with it all the way through until they're fucking dead. I don't know. And I'm not a ROM hack specialist or a developer, so I wouldn't know, like, all this crazy shit. But and I'm not going to disrespect your work and say, or whatever, or just whatever, but just, this is just how I feel about the game regardless. And I'm not trying to say go and change it so me specifically can be happy. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm grateful this is even made. You even continued working on it. I'm grateful, you know, you stuck with Super Luigi Star Powered all the way to the end and made absolutely nothing off of this. You made it because of the community. You know, you love the Super Mario RPG community and you wanted to make something for everybody to play and enjoy Super Mario RPG in a new way that they couldn't do before. I very much appreciate that. This is my experience with Super Luigi RPG Star Powered. Just everything I've ever felt about the game and its versions are said here in this video. So, yeah. God damn, that felt a lot. Now, where do I rank every Super Mario RPG game I've ever played? Alright, not ever played as in, like, that includes the other ones like Paper Mario M&L, but just the versions of Super Mario RPG that I played, right? So, we have Armageddon at dead last, because Armageddon put me through a lot of shit, and I don't know, I don't think it's better than the original version in my opinion. We have Armageddon at dead last. We have Super Mario RPG, the original version of RPG, right after that. Right? Where basically, you know, obviously it created everything. It's original. It's the real deal. It's the original game, right? We have, it's kind of a mix between if I like Remake more or if I like Super Luigi RPG like a little more. Because, for example, like Super Mario RPG Remake, for example, Super Luigi RPG outdoes the fucking Super Mario RPG Remake in spades in terms of boss fights. Like, because most of the secret boss fights I felt like in Super Mario RPG or Super Mario RPG Remake, going back to them and refighting them, were kind of lame in comparison because it was just refights when they really didn't need to do that. You had Square Enix on the fucking team. You could have done Sephiroth. You could have done something actually cool. But no, you decided to do refights because it's the quickest way to wrap up the game in time for release. It's like, come on, man, what the fuck? the only one I would say is worth a damn in the remake is Coolish 3D. He's obviously the only one that's really worth a damn, is what everybody wanted, but you get it, right? But I feel, and I say Super Luigi takes this in spades because not only because the only one that was worth a damn was Coolish 3D in the remake. I felt like, you know, everybody in Super Luigi RPG up to a certain point, in my opinion, I felt like was fucking perfect. I mean, fighting Magnus, though we could have done like more recognizable FF characters other than like FF4 and 6, I mean, don't get me wrong, Terra's badass. Love Terra. But I felt like we could have done, I don't know, maybe like one of the elementals can be got rid of and maybe put in a Sephiroth fight or something. Also, I would have loved Mario as a secret boss instead of Waka. I would have loved if Super Mario was a secret boss. I would have done everything. I'm going to say this. I would have done everything in my power to fight fucking Super Mario. Like Luigi, Peach, Luigi, Daisy, Bowser versus Super Mario as the real secret boss, the strongest thing in the universe. That would have been really cool. I would have dealt with that. I would have said, yo, that's worth it. That's a good fight right there. But and they added Coolish second Coolish 3D. That was a cool thing you added. But I don't know, like all the secret boss you did add when you first fight them was really cool. I just felt like having them all in a gauntlet was the wrong thing to do, like the wrong approach to do, and kind of a lot, in my opinion, that makes the player kind of feel overwhelmed. And I think that's exactly what happened to me when I encountered this gauntlet. I felt overwhelmed with shit to do. I really did. And it doesn't help that your items don't, like, replenish after each fight, like, completely. Like, if you use all your items, you're fucked, and it's a gauntlet. So it's like, have fun fighting 13 to 12 bosses that I barely beat, like, by themselves, So that's why I'm like, kind of lame. But anyways, it is a tie between, like, the remake and Super Luigi RPG. But I think Super Luigi might slightly edge it out, despite its problems, because of, like, not only how the game is. I mean, I don't know, because I feel like, Super Luigi is endlessly replayable, but at the same time, I feel like Remake is more replayable, because I feel like it's more approachable than Super Luigi RPG, because not a lot of people are really going to find it unless they want to find it, or unless they want to go through the methods of finding it. So maybe Super Mario RPG Remake slightly edges it out, but I love what Super Luigi did with the secret boss fights in a way. I don't know, it's confusing, and maybe I would, and I don't know. The ranking system I have for the Super Luigi RPG versus Remake is kind of nutty, because I love Super Luigi for this thing, but I love Remake for the easiness into it, like, a lot more. Oh, man. Anyways, that's my experience with Super Luigi RPG. It's a good game. It's a phenomenal ROM hack, and I recommend everybody play it. It's just that those boss gauntlets really rubbed me the wrong way, and I kind of wish they were done better. Like, at least if you're going to do a gauntlet, hear me out. If you're going to at least do a boss gauntlet, have them all be new fights. Don't have them be refights. Have them all just be new fights. So that way I would be sitting there like, okay, this is something that intrigues me. This is something that interests me. This is something that I would rather do. I would rather do new things than do the same thing again and again and again and again, for boss fights and all that other sort of shit. Just something new. That's all I want to say. Will, again, let me know what you think about this. Will319, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about everything in this video. If you agreed, if you disagreed, let me know. Also, I can't tell you guys how to download this because, YouTube's TOS and Nintendo might come after me, and I don't want Nintendo coming after me for trying to tell you how to download Super Luigi RPG's ROM file and whatever. Anyways, Game Master, you missed me talking about the entirety of Super Luigi, my experience with Super Luigi RPG and all that other sort of shit. But anyways, guys, for real this time, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. God bless you all. If you guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know what game I want to play now, but I don't know. Something for me, just kind of want to chill out a little bit. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I'm not sure if I want to upload shorts, but if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But yeah. Anyways, peace. Oh, you guys are still here? Oh, well, what? You want another Super Mario RPG, like, ROM hack video? What, you want me to start making Super Mario Brother ROM hack videos? Maybe it is about that time to make some Super Mario RPG, or not Super Mario RPG, but Super Mario, ROM hack videos. Maybe it is about that time. Yeah, you guys are right. Maybe Super Mario ROM hacks. Just let me know some down below, and I'll check them out. Now, go along, shoot. See you later. Goodbye. Super Luigi RPG is great. Much better than Armageddon, I'll tell you that. You guys are still here again? What the hell, man? I thought I ended stream. I don't know what else you want me to tell you, like, other than go play Super Luigi RPG, all that other sort of great stuff, I don't know what else you want me to say, but I said everything I said in this 46 minutes, so. I'll do Sonic and Knuckles sometime, Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that game. I'll do both those playthroughs someday. Just give me a bit of time. That was kind of rage-inducing last time with Sonic 3. All right, you know what? I'm gonna cut the internet off. I don't know why it's not ending, but it's kind of strange that this is happening. But is it working now? Okay, there it goes. It's okay. All right.